Earlier in the year, we shared some of 2015's must-see documentaries. Now it's time for part 2. I'm Amy Jobson and you're watching The Briefcase. Multi-award-winning documentary We Come as Friends was described by the New York Times as surreal, moving and infuriating. Now that's my kind of film. The cinematography is uniquely beautiful, honest and daring. Check out the amazing trailer. The choice and sequence of shots are just superb. Drawing upon the independence of South Sudan 4 years ago, Academy Award nominated director Hubert Stauper explores the many complex issues facing South Sudan. We get interviews with Chinese oil workers, UN peacekeepers, Sudanese warlords and American evangelists. It's complex but compelling stuff. The epic trailer music makes us wonder whether this is a tale of liberty or horror. Put simply, this one is not for the faint-hearted. So do you choose to know or hide?
Sudan is now the epicenter of a collision between America and China.
Mention National Lampoon films and I immediately think of Chevy Chase and Wally World. That's probably because I was born in the late 80s. Earlier generations will recall the franchise's origin as a groundbreaking humour magazine. We're thinking a bunch of grown men around a table getting drunk and stoned and throwing random uncensored ideas on the table, colouring them in and heading straight to the press. Well, they made a doco about it, aptly titled Drunk, Stoned, Brilliant, Dead, the story of the National Lampoon. The mag evolved into a media empire taking over radio shows, record albums and of course movies. And it all originated from a bunch of Harvard misfits and their college magazine. I feel like anyone over 25 who knows the team or anyone with an interest in Mad Magazine or Monty Python will really dig this one.
So there's this wonderful freedom.
If we don't buy this magazine, we'll kill this dog.
We can do anything we want.
Do you ever wonder where your everyday fashion items actually come from? It's a dilemma I face every day and hopefully it's crossed your mind at some stage. Andrew Morgan's documentary, The True Cost, is an honest and open account of the textile industry. From the slums of Dhaka to the runways of Milan, Morgan asks the big questions. What happens to the profits? How safe are the working conditions in the impoverished countries responsible for these enormous profits? How responsible are we as consumers for the disparity that exists between rich and poor in the fashion and textile industries? Okay, so the premise isn't entirely original. We know about sweatshop workers and how big labels earn their profits. But there is still plenty in this film that will shock you. The True Cost is confronting, it's riveting, it's a must-see. The tagline, "Who pays the price for our clothing?" really resonated with me. It hits the notes and I'd love to see a similar take applied to animal cruelty in clothing and cosmetics. If you think climbing Mount Everest is an impressive feat, prepare to meet a group of hardcore climbers who have done it 4 or 5 times and are looking forward to their next challenge, Himalayan big wall climbing. A whole new ballgame, Mount Meru presents new obstacles, testing 3 friends and master climbers. A team built on solid trust, each member has their own inner demons and driving forces behind their reputation. The opening of the trailer leaves you hanging in suspense, excuse the pun, and you can tell it's a top-notch film. I mean, check out these helicopter shots and awe-inspiring views, enough for anyone with a fear of heights to grab onto the couch or cinema seat. It's easy to sit back and enjoy the majestic scenery, but the insane risk these athletes expose themselves to, taking chances where there's no control over the outcome, wow, their passion and commitment to climbing is insatiable. Meru is in cinemas from August 14th for those of you who crave vertigo. The next doco is something I wouldn't normally go for. When it comes to food and wine, I prefer to just eat or drink copious amounts rather than watch others do it. But I see great value in Steak Revolution. Maybe because it's a global pursuit of the best steak in the world.
Did you say steak?
Oh, I said steak. And we're talking hard facts. There are interviews with chefs, farmers, butchers, journalists, experts, the whole shebang. Now, another internal battle I have every day is this. I love a good porterhouse, but I also care deeply about the humane treatment of animals. In fact, I'd rather not have them killed at all. What I found most fascinating about this doco was the revelation that an animal which isn't happy won't give good steak. Regardless of the number of vegetarians in the world, people will continue to eat meat. So why don't we look after our livestock? The humane treatment of animals equals tastier meat.
外国に比べてお肉はステーキよりもむしろ厚切りのお肉よりもむしろ薄切りのお肉
As for subtitles, I'm a fan. We are able to experience the passion within different countries and cultures as it should be, and I think reading allows us to absorb the details more thoroughly. This doco kind of reminded me of Marshall's quest for the best burger, but it was more sophisticated and not limited to New York.
Ground beef, so exquisite. Swirling in your mouth, breaking apart and combining again in a fugue of sweets and savory, so delightful.
Thanks for watching The Briefcase. I'm Amy Jobson, and we'll see you next time.